the government is even budgeting for. But this is how they are beating down diasporas that are supporting, that wako anti-government or whatever. Yeah. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And if you cannot fight, in other words, if you cannot fight, wakikuja, for instance, they come in and they put like 2, 3, 4 butcheries next to you, as 2, 3 bigger supermarkets next to your supermarket. Let me tell you, you'll be drained, because the first thing they do is get your employees. Don't wait to close. If your employees will be honest with you, watakuja na watakwambia, this person approached us, akatuambia atatulipa double, kwanza mimi manager akanipatia job, what not. And everybody in Kenya, like, we had employed Gen Zs watupu. They were doing good business. But let me tell you, you cannot blame someone for looking for better, for wanting better, for being employed by bigger people. So the people that are starting off, the diasporas that are starting off at home, sisi ndio tunapigwa. So the small businesses that you are starting, you end up closing, you end up moving. So what happens is, you will remain with only big businesses which can control, who are controlling everything. Because Tukija, when we were operating, we were kind of balancing the ground. You know what I mean, so to say? Because we were able to put our small businesses like in estates. We're able to put our small businesses where the big businesses could not penetrate. But if you are anti-government, let me tell you, they'll come and set up business right next to you. They'll figure out how to bring down your business. So that's the other important thing that I wanted to say. Let me see from my notes here. So that's it. The urgency it's more dire than even before. More people will be abducted. People will continue to die. So it's so dire right now. Like I think that we should start injecting by bringing in suggestions of who we choose and pushing the person to actually make a move, meet with people, something. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Kenyan lady. Yes. There's a lot of backlash and targeting of diasporans who are investing back at home, especially those who are critiquing the government. Thank you for speaking in that regard. We are in solidarity with you. I want to give the microphone quickly to Mudomi. Mudomi, are you there? Guys, we have less than 30 minutes left. Those are like 10 speakers, 3 minutes each. Please be conservative with the time. Let's get as many comrades to speak. Mudomi, are you there? Mudomi, can you hear me? General Africa. Blackman. Allah. Shamir, the activist.
Afro, mambo.
Poa sana, go ahead, Mike is yours.
Thank you so much. One thing I want to say is, Kwanza, I don't know if Ruto and his puppets understand the war we are in, because the war we are in is simply, it is a simple war. Why am I saying it's a simple war? It's because this war, we are just reminding Ruto what he said and what he meant when he took oath, he took over from Uhuru. And what he said, one thing he said about that, he will end enforced disappearance, police brutality, extrajudicial killings. I think these are the key things Ruto meant with this regime. But now he has turned against his will and wishes to the people who elected him. So I'm not seeing a situation or a scenario whereby the movement is going to end soon, and I'm seeing a situation whereby the movement is even welcoming our fathers and those people who are there before. I think the Sabasaba protest is going to ignite, and also is going to give a room for our parents to join the movement, because where we are heading Even our parents, they are not safe. They should not feel that they are safer in this government. This government, everyone, it is not safe. Secondly, I also want to add my voice on the unity of the comrades. I was taken aback during the day when some of us were quick to brush off the abduction of Ndiangui. We as the comrades, hata kama mmoja wetu maybe ameteleza kidogo, we should not side with the state, because the moment we will make any comment which seems to be siding with the state, then they will take advantage of that and they will use the same to come and fight us. I was not happy with the comments of Boniface Mwangi. Totally, I was not happy. So, comrades, let's see the best time to respond. If you see like, I'm not sure about this thing as at the moment, just restrain and sit back and get to hear from other people now and try to get the real information. Thirdly, it's about the movement. Afro, mimi kitu ningependa kusema ni kwamba sisi kama vijana, we started this movement together, and the main reason why we started the movement it was to hold the government accountable for for our taxes which they are collecting. And right now naweza sema ya kwamba nakasirishwa kidogo kwa sababu if in real sense Shamir was here fighting for the accountability, good governance of this country, then why should I come back again and support Matiangi? Guys, we are not being sincere with the struggle we are fighting for. These are the same people. When they were there, they did very, very shady things to the citizen of Kenya. We want someone who respects the rule of law. We don't need so many manifestos, G1000 pages, G500 pages. No, the manifesto we are looking into is just simple. Anyone who respects the rule of law and uphold the 2010 Constitution. Final. We are not here about cousins. We are not here about the good manager from the World Bank. We are not here about those people who have tried fourth times, fifth times. We are not here about those people wenye waliokoa Mumia Sugar wakianguka. No, we are not there. Let us stay to the struggle we have been fighting for. Let us not lose focus. Na divisions zinakuja hapa kwa sababu mtu anaona wivu, kwa sababu leo Afro amekuja na hashtag, na mimi nimeona enyewe hashtag imetrend vizuri, imecapture the attention of the people and with the mission that people should get out. Then naanza kusema Afro amelipwa. This bullshit should end. Inafaa ishe kabisa. Hizi mambo za ujinga za envy kidogo tunabehave kama watoto wa nursery, tuende nazo huko. We are here, we are very serious with this struggle, and this struggle have taken some people's life. Then you want to come here because of petty things. Kama mwenye amenyimwa, alafu ndio unakuja hapa unaanza kutuambia sijio huyu amelipwa, sijio huyu sijini wa serikali. Bullshit. Mimi yenye naona nikiona tu any hashtag yenye naamsha watu, my friend, niko nayo. Bora mission ni moja. Ule aende. Hatutaki kusikia mambo mengine. Wale ambao wako Mombasa, manze mni DM tunapanga Sabasaba inaenda kukua kubwa. As you organize in Nairobi, we are also organizing in Mombasa. Those comrades who are around, please, let's organize together. This thing is not only about me. It is a collective voices. Civic space cannot be expanded. The struggle cannot be expanded when we are not going to invite collective voices from the grassroots level. Let's fight together. Let's soldier on together. Let's win this struggle together. Asanteni sana. You can also follow me so that we get together. Thank you, Afro.
Thank you so much, Amir. Thank you so much for that housekeeping that you have brought on the space. Yes, even me, I was worried. It raised eyebrows. I don't like talking about people because that brings a lot of sideshows. But we have to be cognizant of that fact that Boniface Mwangi, this is the second strike I'm giving him. The first strike is when he demonized Syrian numbers because it didn't originate with him. That hashtag was accomplishing our objective. If he wanted to go put flowers in parliament, he's a free man. He can do whatever he has. Yes, he has a history of fighting for the struggle. I respect that. My heart's off what he has done so far in terms of the struggle. I respect, but now he's moving funny. I don't know. Something is off with him. Alafu Leo, he has a very powerful platform for him to come and demonize Dangui. That was my second strike. Ya mwisho, I am canceling. I don't care if he's walking with Jesus and angels. He is now an enemy of the movement. That's the second strike I'm giving him. But he has moved twice funny in the last 2 weeks. But we are watching him. Tuko na macho. I'll give the microphone quickly to Black Man. Black Man, can you hear me? Hey, Black Man.
Yes,
Mike
yes,
ni
yes,
yako.
yes. Youth power. Youth
Karibia,
power.
Mike.
Youth
Yeah,
power.
go ahead.
Ya, asante sana Afrocentric, KOT hapo, Billy Mwangi. Nawashukuru sana kwa hii space na kwa kunipatia mic. First and foremost, kitu ningependa kuambia ni moja, ni kwa mfano kama uko na ng'ombe na umeandika mfanyakazi ambapo ni mchungaji na upate ng'ombe wako ameenda kukula kwa jirani ama ameenda kula kwa shamba, mtu wa kulaumu ni mchungaji, sio ng'ombe. So in this situation, kitu naweza sema ni saizi ng'ombe yetu hapa Kenya ilikuwa ni Ruto, ambapo ilikuwa inafaa tumkamue maendeleo, tumkamue at least atuletee maendeleo. But you see now, wale wachungaji ambao tumeweka waweze wakachungia hii ng'ombe, ambapo ni our MPs, our senators and governors, they are not doing this. Why? Hii ni swali ambalo inafaa tu tunajiuliza, kwa nini hawachungi hii ng'ombe? That means kuna kitu hata wanajua kuhusu hii ng'ombe. Mnanipata vizuri? Kuhusu hii hakuna since nini hatujasikia any MP akilalamika sijapata CDF ama nini, na hatujasikia pia serikali ikilalamika ikisema tuliwapatia CDF na misuse, meaning that kuna kitu yenye inaendelea. So what I can say is that watu wenye tunafaa kwanza kuoccupy, watu wenye tunafaa kwanza kuquestion ni our MPs. Cause hawa tuliwapatia kazi waende kule watuchungie, na hao nao wameenda kule wamekuwa MPs, wameenda kule kujilisha badala ya kuchunga. Mimi kitu ningetaka kusema ni saizi ni tufunguke. Hakuna siku wanasema ati youth we are the leader, we are the future leaders. Hiyo future ni when is that future? When is that tomorrow? Tomorrow is now. Unaona kama Billy Mwangi amejitoa na yeye anataka kuwa senator pale, naona KOT anataka kuwa MP pale, ndio huyo hapa Blackman, mimi nataka nikuwe MCA huku. Unaona, ni tujitoe, tulete fresh bloods in this government na tunaenda kuleta mabadiliko, but without fresh blood hakuna mabadiliko yanaenda kuwa, because these people are the same people wale wenye tumekuwa tukilia from hiyo wakati ya wazazi wetu ambapo walitumislead. So saizi ndio time ya tulete fresh blood, tulete fresh minds kwa government, watu wenye tunaweza reason now. You see, saizi vitu zimebadilika, ni sisi tubadilike pia na sisi pia tujitokeze kwa wingi. You know, we have numbers but we don't have resources. Unaona, we have already proved we have numbers but resources ndio hatuna. Ni sisi tujitolee na sisi wenyewe pia tubadilike, sisi wenyewe kama Gen Zs tuachane na tamaa.
Blackman, you're breaking up. It's very difficult to listen to follow you.
Ikifika wakati wa tunadanganywa na
Ayo, can you hear Blackman?
We can't hear him. Hatumsikii kabisa.
Blackman.
Mnanipata?
Tafuta network, tafuta network.
Mnanipata ama bado na break?
Tunakupata.
Mnanipata sasa hivi?
Yeah.
Nasema it's a high time we tugutuke. Tuache kutumika. You know, saizi mapolitician wametua ujinga. Wanatumia ujinga cause wamerealize tuko desperate, like ni kama hatuna do. Unaona, wamekatata kutupatia kazi. Cause wanaona wakitupatia kazi we will not hatutafuata mambo yao, sisi wameamua kuiba hadharani na kufanya venye wanataka cause majority of them wanajua hawatarudi. So ni sisi tufungue macho na tusikubali kutumika na tuache tamaa. You see, inaanza kwa sisi wenyewe ndio tunajipoteza pia. You see, wakati wa kampeni unapata tunadanganywa na shilingi 500 and then we suffer for 5 years. But hiyo 500 to resist, mtu akikuletea hiyo do muonyeshe like watutaki hiyo do saizi, we need fresh blood. Unaona, unaona mtu mwenye anaweza badilisha, mwenye anaweza tubadilishia Kenya, au mwenye anaweza badilisha our constituency, au mwenye anaweza badilisha leadership yetu, akikuja akiwa na ile nini ya kubadilisha, unapata sisi tunamkataa with the reason that hana pesa ya kutununua, ya kutuhonga, kwa sababu tumezoea kuhongwa na kuhongana. Unaona, hata sisi wenyewe ndio uende mahali upate kazi ni lazima uongane. Tukibreak that thing ya kuhongana, tutapata good leadership. Tutoe historia do kwanza, tutoe historia pesa mbele. Unaona, somebody like Maraga is a good leader, but ukiangalia vizuri hana pesa. Unaona, but ukiangalia mtu kama Matiang'i, mimi moja nikisikia mtu anasema ati Matiang'i for president, unaona mtu amechanganyikiwa. Because Matiang'i huyu ni mtu mwenye ako sponsored, huyu ni mtu mwenye amekuja kutupima. Juu ni mtu mwenye amekuwa kwa state. Hiyo wakati yenye alikuwa kwa state hakuwa ileta change. So what do you expect now? Wewe ni mtu mwenye hakuna kitu anaweza tusaidia. But you see somebody like Maraga, wewe ni mtu mwenye anaweza tusaidia. Somebody who nullified election ban. Wewe ni mtu mwenye anajua nini. Wewe ni mtu anaweza tusaidia. Unaona? But you see some of us will reject him because maybe hana do. Unaona? Juu si tumeka pesa mbele na tunanunuliwa na ama politician wamegundua sisi hatuna do. So wamegundua tu, wanakuja wanatupatia 500, we are fighting youth for youth. Unaenda una fight youth mwenzako. Ukiona kama hao magunzi wenye walikuwa wanakuja kutusumbua wakati wa maandamano, most of them are youth like us, si wazee, na juu wamelipwa. And then after wameshalipwa hivyo, wengine hata wanakosa kupata hizo do, wanakuja wanaanza tena kucomplain. Unaona, wanakuja wanaanza kulia. Unaona, so tutabadilisha aje nchi wakati sisi wenyewe hatutaki kuunite? Unaona, tuachane kwanza na tamaa ya pesa kwanza, tupiganie kwanza nchi yetu kwanza, ndio itakuja baadaye. Unaona, hivi like hapo nyuma ulikuwa mzazi wako kama alikuwa anafanya kwa serikali, alikuwa akifika some age fulani alikuwa anakuachia kazi, anakuambia kuja kaa hapa. Sasa angalia venye hao mababa zetu wamekuwa selfish, watu wataki hata kuretire. Unaona, Ruto alikuwa anaongea hapa mambo ya kusema 7 years, people don't want to retire. Na sisi tumepelekwa, tumeenda shule, tumetumia do, hatuna kazi. Hizi kazi zitatoka wapi wakati these guys don't want to retire? They have money but they don't want, hawataki kutuachia hizi kazi pia na sisi pia. Kazi yao ni kutuambia tu we are the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of tomorrow. When is this tomorrow? Hakuna kitu kama hiyo ati tomorrow. Tomorrow is now. Ni vitu kutoke. I rest my case.
Thank you so much, Black Man. Hey, mazi uko na point kali kali. Ni tu mic imekubetray. Your mic, we are struggling to hear you, but we heard you. But we had to pay so much attention. Lakini asanti, Black Man. Yes, we should not. We are draining the swamp. At least everyone on the space, I believe we are on the same page. Apo. Draining the swamp. We are getting rid of the current political class that don't care about us. They are just about self-profiting. They are not. The whole parliament does not even represent our interests. If they were listening to the ground, they would know what we want. Someone would have already tabled up a vote of no confidence. But wananyamaza, wanajiongezea salaries na kutuambia ati we can't protest. Tunyamaze hadi 2027. Unfortunate. Wambo, welcome to the space. Good to have a lady on the space. Mike ni yako. Wambo, can you hear us? Wambui can't hear us. I'll give the microphone to Uno D.
Barabara
Levite.
kabisa bro. Thank you for the opportunity. Sasa yangu ni very simple. Number one, shukran zote zimwendee KOT. Yesterday ali inject properly kwa JK Live. I hope you guys followed the program, and I'm glad that the conversations that we are having are the exact important questions that we should be having day in, day out. First of all, draining the swamp, that is non-negotiable. We need to evacuate anyone that is in the office that is not supposed to be there. Si lazima ifike 2027. Vile tumesema tunaenda kutembelea ma MPs watupikie lunch, because since they are pushing on taxes that ina to oppress, why don't we just have a good lunch, or we can call it brunch, or whatever meal that tunahitaji. Tuambie tu, hey, you know what, we are coming in our thousands, and please prepare meals for us, because we can only survive in your hands now, that because mumetufinya venye tuwezi survive. And so KOT, thanks for shooting those shots yesterday and facing the camera. I love the way you face camera from you. You're making your points very clear. Continue that way. We need more KOTs like you. And the fact that bado unastand pale, I think ni Kimilili there. Continue pushing, and I believe that watu wa huko wamekushikilia vizuri kabisa. Anyway, another thing, I don't talk so much about the Diangui incident. There are a lot of questions, and of course hata mimi ili raise alarm, and I just overheard, there is one of the kwa TikTok niliona video fulani yenye Masakaru alikuwa anakuwa interviewed by some camera guy there, anakuwa anamuuliza how okay, questioning about the victory that they were celebrating, but Masakaru mentioned something about Ndiangui's health, something that we really need to put some question mark. I'm not questioning whatever they happen. I'm not even siding with Boniface Mwangi at all costs, because what he did was so wrong, and we are still tuna remove the chaff. We are slowly removing the chaff from the wheat, and now tunajua who is in the mix and who is not supposed to be there, and we call them out by names, the way ume call out their names, and many others who are here. Mine, today I wanted it to be short. I'm loving what Homa Bay prove. The government has been pushing so much about the narrative as we are whatever this thing is being sponsored by tribal goons and blah blah blah. I'm checking. Dude, if you are in this place and you are from Homa Bay, please kudos. I wish ndakubaia chai siku moja, because what I thank you guys for exemplifying the kind of wrath that we who did not make it to Homa Bay were feeling. This is what we need to do. While to accuse of doing something that we didn't do now, let us now do it, ndo wajue what we are capable of. Unaona, ndio umetubeba ufala for long. For how long watakuwa wana bring this wrong narrative wanadhani no, it will not continue. So, and I agree with what Kenyan lady you mentioned about the hashtag. Right now, hashtag number 1 sabasaba, ya pili ulikuwa umemention ingine ilikuwa ni gani? Nimesahau. And ya tatu ulikuwa umemention something about the president that we would want, and this is why I think this is a conversation that we need to start as early as now, not to tujue as a team, as the Gen Z revolution, which candidate are we going to vie? It will be my pleasure kukuwe na only 3 runners in the presidential whatever it is, so that tupatie tu mse a clean 7 million lead. Yani yeye ataona tu yake tuko 7-8 million, naye bado hajakanyaga mita, ndio huu mtu asugoi arudi home clean and debatable. So Afro, thank you very much. Mi sina mingi ya kusema, and Sabasaba as always we must meet. Mimi I've never missed any maandamano. I am always present, though hii ingine tulikwamishwa pale, mi nilikuwa ile Timpika Road, so kufika pale GSU headquarters wakatufungia, tukaingia na barabara ya Roasters ila kuingia na Kiambu Road, tukapata pia tunangojea hapo karibu na DCI. So anyway, at least we did something, and we made a statement, and I agree with Kenyan lady. The numbers that I saw, it was quite crazy. I wish to make it into town. I don't think if this parliament ongekuwa at peace right now. So guys, let's continue with that spirit. Let's continue soldiering on. Tuko almost. We are injecting quite well. Yeah, and to the rest, one last thing. Those who are fearing, and I understand, yes, watu wanaweza kuwa na uoga ya kwenda maandamano. It's totally understandable. But the question I've been asking in most of these spaces is, would you rather die on your knees trying to beg someone who doesn't care about your life, or would you rather die facing the bullet? Kama itakuwa ikuwe, either way, if God ako ameplan utakufa hiyo day, it is okay. You can die by a bullet, unaweza kufa njaa, unaweza kufa na accident. There are many things that can take you away, you see. So the time for fear is not now, and I will plead that you look at the bigger picture. Hata mimi nikienda maandamano sindangi ati huko ati niko na ile psyche, I'm so much confident about the maandamano. No, I'm very fearful, but sometimes I have to beat my fear and I go face those people. Tulipatana almost 3 barricades za makarao, and we didn't know kama tuwapita watushoot kwa kichwa. Once tumeturn their back against them, they will do anything. But right now it's high time we fight the fear, and we face the government head on. I love the spirit. We are really making a good statement, and as they always say, Kenya is the capital city of Africa, and soon maybe the world will be making a statement out of Kenya, the Kenyan Gen Z. Otherwise, Viva guys, let's continue, let's push on until it's done, until Ruto is done, totally done. Back to you, Afro.
Thank you so much. Give the microphone to Nothing KE. Nothing.
Hi, Afro. Hi, everybody. I want to thank you all for injecting, for pushing the hashtag for free comrades who have been abducted, arrested, those who are missing, those who we have lost, and it's very painful. I salute you guys for your sincerity. I salute you for your resilience, and I pray that we keep up the fire to the very end. Maybe something that I could mention is about unity of purpose. We are now officially freedom fighter. We've not done this before, but we don't have to agree on everything. Like, you can teach me where I'm wrong. You can teach me something that I don't know. And something else that has worried me over time is that when we are talking about leadership, a lot of people are fronting older people. I think we have been proven wrong that age is not a sign of maturity, even fools grow old. So we should be ready to pursue and to support as many young people, credible young people as possible. So let's not point fingers. It's like people are already thinking of handing back power to the same people we want out, especially career politicians. They have to go home. When you look at the case of Albert Ojwang, when he died, politicians from his backyard were trying to absolve the blame. Someone like Kaluma was trying to absolve the. So those, please, Homa Bay and anyone, do not allow career politicians back in parliament. We can see what this lady Pasari is doing. We're not against female leadership. We are against bogus leadership. It doesn't matter whether it's male or female. Secondly, do not trust blindly. Even Judas attended every prayer session. So there are people who are being used to distract the movement, to contain us. Like when I look at Finance Bill 2025, there are people who are purporting to be part of the movement, but when these things went sailed through, even when Ichungwa said that 2024 Finance Bill, they passed it in December. I saw it as a highlight. There was no one who's purporting to be supportive of the movement who could give us heads up that this is going on. So that tells you we should not trust blindly. Some of the people who are being fronted, if you look at where they come from and you look at Auditor General's report, there's so much corruption. At the same time, people are fronting these same individuals to be the savior of a country that is in dire need for change. People are dying. People are educated. And I really don't care about level of education. The people who are brilliant, but they do not have education. The people who are falling out of school because of bad governance. So we need to focus, but we need to guard leadership jealously. We should not trust someone and say, oh, this person is nice, this person has done that. No, we want change. If you look at Burkina Faso, this guy is very chilled, but he's doing exactly what we desire for our country. So let's not be distracted by anyone. Let's not support someone just because, let's say, hey, we need young people, the same young people who are saying we don't have jobs. We need to be the people in office. So let's encourage as many people as possible. Then let's extend grace like to Albert Ojwang's father. I don't know what it is like to be in their shoes, to lose your only child. For me, it's very painful and gets me really mad. I get really mad at, at the government when they think they can toss around money. We want justice. We want compensation. And guys, open your wallet and support this man. I don't want this story to die down and then he's forgotten. And it's not an issue of tokenism. Every time he speaks, it really breaks my heart because we're from different generation, and his generation, they make peace. The reason why we're where we are is because they never fought for something different. And we don't want to stand and tell a story of how we had to do what he had to labor to educate a child. So for that change to come, we have to make sure that we are kind to a generation that was not courageous enough to fight. And we should not forget that he's hurting and he doesn't have much of an advantage. So when we get angry, and I was very disappointed when Wanga was trying to untwist him to thank government of day, but at the same time I understand the position he is at. He doesn't have the advantage to fight. So he has us. It's our responsibility to defend him and not to tear him down. I'm grateful to know that Jiangwei is out, and we need to think outside the box. We need to question. Don't just believe when people say, "Oh, he was hiding." It is impossible. It is impossible to hide from the intelligence fraternity. There's so many loopholes. I did some units in forensic science, so I can tell you for a fact this thing is scripted because DCI said he should present himself, and he did exactly that. Then he comes out looking frail. He sent a charge sheet to his family on the night he was arrested. So how is it that DCI, and this is what lawyers, there's a lawyer who explained, it was in Afrospace, that the reason why they are certain that DCI had him is because when he was arrested, he took a screenshot of the charge sheet and sent it to his family, and that is how the alarm that he had been arrested came out. So let's not be quick to be misguided. Let's be open to questioning And perhaps that's all I want to say for today. And I thank you guys. It's very painful to be a Kenyan. It's very difficult to be a Kenyan. I always say it feels like being awake during surgery. It's very painful when we think about the people who are missing. And let's try and find as many comrades as possible, because I believe there are people who are missing. And I've also seen a screenshot from, I think it's called Osama Otero, where he says the guy will be back tomorrow and he will be very humble. And he says, and I hear in a different tweet, but on the same screenshot says that I hear he has been shaved. So what is going on? And actually the person who sent that screenshot is someone I've connected with online. I've now met anyone physically from the online connection. So kindly don't be too quick to believe anything. Let's question so that we know how do we go about this thing. I think this year I was trying to save face because this issue of Albert Ojwang, they expected probably they would get away with it, but it totally destroyed them. And they are in a position where they cannot defend themselves, and that's why we should not walk away from that. I thank you. Thank you, everybody, for putting in the work. Thank you, KOT, for being consistent. Oh, and then there's this other issue where if you call out people, they call you NIF. Don't be distracted, call them off and move on. We're going to push until the Kenya we want become a reality, because this cannot continue to business as usual. It's unacceptable. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everyone who's been posting space, retweeting. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Nothing KE. Yes, guys, focus, 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 please. Let us not be reactionary. The government is going to bring about so many storylines for us to chase our tails. I can see a new story starting about a church in State House. Sasa, those are like 3 days now discussing nani atakuwa pastor wa hiyo kanisa, nani atakuwa kichukua offering kwa hiyo kanisa ya State House. I'm just saying, you please focus. Over here, extrajudicial killings. Eliud Lagat must be arrested. There has to be accountability. Albert Ojwang is dead. I'm telling you, I am so happy. If you meet anyone who is from Hoba Bay, give them a hug, buy them lunch, waweke bundles ya internet. They understood the assignment. Hao ndo wanajua where we are in this syllabus. We need to have accountability. They have to take accountability for what they have done to Albert Ojwang. So we are on the same page. Guys, arrest Eliud Langat because no one is safe. Mtu akienda Central Police Station, it could be a death sentence. And he cannot hold office. He cannot hold office. Ayo, welcome to the space.
Thanks, Afro. Good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good and you had a good day. A week packed with events. Finally, it's ending as sooner. I think someone was saying at work today that a week in this country nowadays is just a lot. And leave alone a week, not just a day in this country. A lot can happen in a day. Others we don't get to hear. Others the media will try and show us. Like right now, I'm just tomorrow's issue of the Daily Nation just says that the headline is Ruto's 1.2 billion Kenyan shillings church at State House. Someone is busy building a church worth 1.2 billion at State House. Well, there are kids out there that cannot even afford to go to school because they don't have schools. There are constituencies out there that don't even have hospitals. So some people have to travel from very many kilometers to access healthcare. Very interesting. First of all, by the way, KOT, you did a good job yesterday at JKL. You guys injected, and that was quite something. I really appreciated the fact that you guys took your time to, address the nation. You thought you guys are addressing, but you are literally addressing the nation on national television. So that was great. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to address this matter of forced disappearances. We live in a very tyrannical country right now, and no one is safe. You might be speaking on these spaces, we think that we are safe, but we are not safe. But we've reached a point where we are like, who cares? At the end of the day, when I'm in my house, I'm not safe. When I'm in the streets, I'm not safe. So where will I be safe? So let's just chukua mic, fungua roho, speak it out. This issue of forced disappearances, when will it end? What kind of government is this that is really threatened by its citizens, that the only way to shun down critics is by either kidnapping them, killing them, or spraying bullets to them on the streets? We really need to reach a point, and this I'm addressing the youth out there, all the young people. And when I say young, I mean so long as you have your ID, you have power. In this country, so long as you have your ID, you have power. Because once you have your ID, you have your voter's card. You have a voice. One ID is too much. I'll tell you, it's just too much. One vote goes a long way. We're headed towards 2027. I don't even want to talk about 2027. I want to talk about, because tunaongea hapa stories are half term, sawa, half term, one term. And the only way we can do this, yesterday I was doing an analytics that in Kenya, right now we have, I was reading a document, and this document stated that ages between, what was that? The Gen Z's population is actually estimated to be around 18.3 million. And that represents 33.42% of Kenyans, of the total Kenyan population. So this actually makes them the largest population in Kenya. And by 2027, a good percentage of these Gen Zs, a good percentage, nikiangalia age bracket ya Gen Zs, a good percentage wanafaa kuwa na ID by 2027. So my only agenda is at least we rally and push everyone to at least have a vote, a say by 2027. And right now, we have a crop of these tribal politicians. They feel wanatuona wajinga sana. Like, wanatuona kawa wazazi. Sisemi wazazi wetu ni wajinga, but baby boomers are scared. They're afraid. Ni watu walikuwa kwa regime ya Moi wanaogopa. Walikuwa tortured hapo Nyayo House nini, wanaogopa. But for us, we are not scared. Gen Zs and the youth, when I'm saying millennials and Gen Z, we are not scared. Na tuko na the largest numbers, man, kwa hii country. Let's even forget about our parents for a moment. Let's focus on us. We are very many in this country, and our voice really counts. Na tumetetemesha hii nchi hadi WSR ametetemeka. Number one ametetemeka. So that tells you what power we have, not only in our voice, but in our actions. So what I want to encourage you guys is, we said you are tribeless, and that is one factor that imetetemesha politicians wengi sana. Because they've been using this tribal card to separate us for quite a long time. To divide for quite a long time. Wali divide wazazi wetu. Adi in our societies, kama we ni chele unaleta dem, unaulizwa, yu dem ni mkabila gani? That is how bad tribalism was. But we've decided to change the narrative. And that is one thing that inatetemesha hawa Gen X na baby boomers. Wanasema sasa hawa wanasema wako tribeless. Ni card gani tunatumia kuwa separate? So what I want to say is, can we use that strength that we have to propel us to the next level? Number one, by just sending these people home. Akina Gashagwa, akina Matiang'i, Matiang'i was there in power when we were being killed. PV walikuwa, man. What did they say? Saizi anataka kuwa president sijui nini. Guys, tusiache hawa watu, hii friends yenye wanakuja nayo hapa, tusiache itu blow away, because once we'll give them the power to blow us away with their frenzy. Oh, cousins. Oh, so saizi ndo wamejua sisi ni cousins. When we were trying to reject the finance bill, we were not cousins. Rigiji was there. He had a voice then, but he did not speak. Someone who comes to tell you that we did not hear you speak. You had the power to call a press conference, because when you were impeached, you called a press conference. So back then it means you also had the power to call a press conference and say, hey guys, mimi nimejaribu kuambia Ruto ABCD lakini anisikii. Lakini hakufanya hivyo. So right now is not the time to be called cousins or to be called brothers and sisters. We've been brothers and sisters for quite a long time, and we know that. We are Kenyans. We are not cousins here. We are Kenyans. Your cousins bullshit, we don't want to hear it. Right now, the aim is to clean the system, flush out the system. All these tribalists, all these people that saw us when we were being killed back then, last year, and even in the post-election violence, hatujawasamehea. They incited us, people killed each other because of them. Right now, they don't care. Kina Unye, they don't care. Wako kwa makwao with their biggest pieces of land. They don't give a damn. They fucked up the economy. Wako sawa. But now let's go back to the basics and look at ourselves in the mirror and say nobody shall sway us away with the tribal card. Nobody shall sway us away with the small pesa wakileta tukule hiyo pesa yao, nunua nayo tokens, lipa nayo rent. But at the end of the day, ukienda kwa ballot, you know whom to vote. You know that you're making the right choice. You know that, because we will be so stupid to make the same mistake again. A mistake done once is a mistake. The same thing repeated, it's a habit. Na sisi si wajinga. And I want to caution you guys, we are not that stupid. Let's not be like other people it's like making the same mistake over and over just means you're stupid. And I don't want to categorize us as stupid. Yes, they are stupid. Us, we are not stupid. Politicians are stupid. We've come to a generation whereby we can change the narrative. Let's change that narrative. Not by just speaking and doing nothing. Let's change that. Saba is coming. We are hitting the streets. Everyone that has passed on, may their souls rest in peace. Let's fight for them. And like I always say in each and every other space, let not that life that went down with a bullet go to waste. Let's not fail them. Wakiwa kwa baba, wakituangalia, wakitutazama, tusiwafail tafadhali. That is all I can ask of you. And young people that are coming up with ideologies like Akina Kioti Sonko want to be MPs, want to be leaders, let's support these people. They might be the only change we have. They might be the only last bullet we have to change our country. Guys, and I want to ask you guys, right now, Ruto ako UK. Anafanya nini UK na country yake inachomeka? That tells you how much nonchalant Ruto is. He doesn't give a fuck. Atatoka naende. Nyinyi kama mnauliwa, mnawekewa bullet kwa akili, mnakufa. He doesn't move that nigga. He will still take charter flight. Do you know how much he spent on that flight? Our taxpayers' money. You pesa si yake. Taxpayers' money. Kuna budget ya taxpayers inaenda kwa hiyo flight. Do you know how much has gone to that flight to the UK? Agenda peke yake. He's gone with others. Wanajitanga delegates, CSS, kufanya nonsense zenye wameenda kufanya huko. And I'll tell you this for a fact. If you see Ruto making these trips, a lot of international countries like the UK, the US, or whatever, Europe, they have so much interest in Kenya. And why Kenya alone? By the Kenya in Africa stands in a standing tall, son. I wish you guys knew the reputation we have out there. Even other African countries, wanatuogopa because of the power we have. So let's not take that power for granted. I know Ruto has been summoned by watu urusha pesa kwa hii nchi. And they're like, you nigga, you're not taking charge of that country. I'm very sure, probably nobody's speaking about it. But trust me, even other countries are watching what's happening in Kenya. And this time, hatupeleki watu wa ICC. Tunamalizana tu na watu hapa. Let's take back our power. Dear Kenyans, let's take back our power. That is what I'll keep on asking you. Let's take back our power. Because we are powerful beyond measure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ayo. Indeed, Kenyans, let's take our power. Guys, we're coming to the top of the hour. We have had a good space. I believe we have brought awareness to the issue and to focusing on Saba Saba. That is literally 4 days away. We're going to take closing statements. I believe I'm going to start with Redemptor. Welcome to the space, Redemptor. If Redemptor is not ready, I'll give you this
Sorry,
mic. Are you ready?
nanisikia?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make it very quick, although nasamanga hivyo I end up talking a lot. First of all, it's just a moment of reflection on everyone who's going through a hard time. Be gentle on yourself. You're living in very hard times. You're living in a season where ukatili is what is taken center stage. Now, I used to love Tanzania and I thought one day I'll go there to do a story about a certain cult. Boniface Mwangi. Boni, Boni, Boni. How many times have I called your name? I will never go to Tanzania because the day you are abducted, I went to the space of Tanzania. I injected with balancing tears. I was raging. I addressed the president of Tanzania. Na sasa, at the age you are, 10 years older than Dangwin, you actually go and make a post without visiting him, without interrogating. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the aftermath of every mandamano. Very strategically, I don't talk about maandamano, what people must do. What I must address, however, is being our brother's keeper. The state has brutalized our young people. And it's not just abduction, it's the terror. After June 25th, people were arrested in towns where there was demonstrations. They were told you must produce people. So when we talk about police brutality, I feel good when I see a policeman saying end police brutality. There's a misconception, one about big weakness in what is going on in this country. And the best example I think I can give again is a few people assume people go to the streets because they saw a hashtag. I can tell you the people of Homa Bay did not even know maybe Kaluma had said, and then mukafiwe, you can't tell us how to mourn our loved one. I have stated here and I've said I was trying to trace the life of Albert Ojwang, a young, handsome man who grew up in Kilifi County. And so even when the family or the people of Homa Bay receive him, he's also a young man from Kilifi. And that is the face of Kenyans. The reason why young people say tribeless is because a lot of them cannot identify with just one place or one tribe. The misconception of big wigness, I must address so that I celebrate all the small wigs that sometimes feel unappreciated. And also the harm that got to some of our young people like Billy and Peter, because I have never encountered Peter, I only knew about him when I was hashtagging. So when I see people saying, oh, you know, it puts a downer when you stop hashtagging, we will never stop. We will never stop. I don't know what Peter and Billy went through, but we did not have Christmas. Some of you know we had spaces on Christmas Day because of them. And that brings me back to my brother's keeper. Until you've walked in the shoes of somebody, you cannot be the expert of their lives. I don't shy away from that we have some occultism going on in this country that is targeting our young people, and especially young, handsome boys. I will say it and I will repeat it because I read everything, I follow everything. And this is what I have to say. Among human rights defenders, for which I celebrate Bonnie, and for the reason why I'm very disappointed, we never question why someone did what, was arrested, what were they doing in Kajiado, walienda kuchoko. No. You first help the person and then maswali baadaye. And one of the things we do as Brothers Keeper in 2021, after COVID, there was very few people who could do what you are doing now online, digital activists. There were very few. But the one who used to do it would post a picture of Uhuru and say, most wanted, taking loans. He would be raided, just raided, terrorized for a few hours and sleep in a police cell. And people who don't have courage like him would actually give money for him to buy new gadgets. So we should be discussing how do we become brother's keeper for the wellness of after maandamano. I say this as someone who does victim advocacy, the forgotten victims of every brutality that goes on. Can we have a system? Because I celebrate the young people, the genuine young people who go to the streets and they can't even leave a comrade behind. They pick them up. We saw a policewoman being hurt, and it was the same comrades with good hearts who went to rescue her. The police ran and left her. And that's what I've seen, the spirit of the genuine people, how they bundle together and how they help each other. So while people are busy fighting over hashtags, because people don't come to the streets because they read a hashtag, something is going on. Wamejituma because the times they are living in. And I'll say, when I heard Dangwin was missing, do you know what was happening after 25th? You all, hapa X, Afrocentric nipatie tu dakika ni ranti nitoke. Instead of saying what else happened while we were doing this, the first hashtag was sit-down, and people ran with it. So there's a place we say, yes, we don't care about the hashtag, but you look at the hashtag, is this one helping us or it's hurting us? Because wengine wetu wanachukia kanisa, hatupendi kanisa, but you see, they opened their doors. Something happened. I listened to even Nothing KE explaining, and I knew that hashtag was meant to divide us further. Ule ni Mkristo bado akuwe ni enemy. So what I would say is brothers keepers mean I felt even bad because I see Billy going to join politicians because probably they offered him something that we did not. There needs to be a system where the people come and say simu yangu iliibiwa. It's hard to identify who took if it was taken. But for this case of Dangwin, even without all these alifanyiwa ama alifanyiwa, simu zake zilienda. He's an IT guy. He doesn't have equipment. He's picking up his life. So can we have a system where we check on each other? I think you remember when femicide story of a young girl was brutalized and the story came out that that person is a human rights defender. It did not stop people from being human rights defenders and having WhatsApp groups and checking on each other. You saw them recently singing in prison, Ukombozi song. Tumekataa kupiga magoti mbele yao wauaji. That song has been sung for a couple of years now. And I hope you can all learn it and sing it because this is a season you are born in the golden generation. And Ayo, please be gentle on boomers and Xers. There are some young people who are not enlightened. And yet there are boomers and Xers who know what it means to fight for what is right. We celebrate your courage. I actually study courage. And you know why I'm interested in courage? Is because there's so much hurt in this world. If it was not for courage, if it was not for brave people, this country would crash. So this country will be, the fabric that is holding this country together is your courage. So if you're a courageous person, and if you're hurting because of that courage, be gentle on yourself. It was given to you for a very big purpose. That's my submissions today. Look for a wellness system. I saw KOT posting I'm not well. Did anybody check on you? I look for one person who has been abducted. I've identified and I follow on them and I check on them. And I can tell you for free, they are going through post-traumatic stress disorder. They are going through it. It's something I've not experienced at a very great length. I have documented people who've been tortured. When you hear stories of people who've been tortured, when they finally open up, you actually get traumatized yourself from those stories. So let's not get carried away with this wave that comes online. A lot of money is poured. And to anybody who gets tired and steps out of this movement, don't even feel shy about being called a sellout. You know your limits, you know how far you can go. So all I appeal is, let's not idolize. Last time, you gave people money to kutoa watu hospitali, you idolize them, you raise them on a pedestal. In Kenya, big wig will not win elections. It is your voice, authentic voice. And I told you Afrocentric. I've been singing this song. The day an authentic voice calls people to the streets, they will come up. All these other kalongolongo. Bado namalizia na Boni. Boni alienda kwa TV station akasema the leaders are few, the ones who did that. Kai, sasa hii yetu tunafanyanga ya kutetea watu wakidhulumiwa, yetu si utetezi ama hii big weakness. Let's have humility even as we do our thing. It's what about the followers you have on X. It is your commitment to keep doing this even when you know your life is in danger. Please be safe. That's all I can say. Please be safe. We always believe the victim. We never doubt when someone comes and tells us, this happened to me. And so, unless someone is giving you 100% evidence, they know, haikufanyikia huyo mtu, please shut up, ujue amepitia nini. That's all I can say. Nasikia watu wanasema, oh, hii story iko question marks. Question mark gani? Ya Albert Ojwang ilikuwa na question mark, and then what happens? And lastly, again, I am happy that people are valuing human life more than money. And that's what happened in Homa Bay. We had allegations that were given 500 shillings yesterday. So for refusing to do that, and Pia, Oyo, I know, I respect you. I'm just saying, let's not do this. Chukueni pesa yao mkule. Pesa yao imepelekwa kwa waganga. Hiyo pesa itafanya muguruke. Wachanani na pesa yao. Hizo handouts zinalalanga kwa choo, kwanza zimefanywa ushirikina, ndio mnakuja mnapewa mnachizi. I say that as someone who is spiritual. Afrocentric, for giving me the mic and for trusting me with the pain and the burden of this generation. I appreciate everybody who's sacrificing their life, who is putting their life. Let's just have a system that takes care of you, the aftermath of all these protests that happen, because the aftermath is painful for a lot of people. It's many people who come home, they don't have a phone, they don't have this, they don't even know where the next meal will come from, but they still step out in the street. So we focus on the people who are dead. We still want to give money to Baba Ojwang, but when we talk about all the people who've been up, has anybody ever checked on them to see what they are doing in terms of their livelihoods? What are they doing? Actually, there's a lot of stigma after you've been abducted. That's what my findings have been, because people are always questioning. People feel uncomfortable around you. They don't know what to say about around it. It's something that I know from other brutalized Kenyans, not just in 2025. But I'll finish by saying this is the hardest I've ever seen brutality in my lifetime. This is the hardest I've ever seen. And so I wish you more courage, because you're fighting from a place of victory, and your parents who've struggled to raise you, the ones that sometimes you're very hard on, and sometimes I understand why, they want you to win. And nobody has ever fought with a younger generation and won. That's what I can tell to the monitoring spirits who come to these spaces. We are holding brief for the young people of this country, because you are the now, you are the future. We can do nothing without the young people of this country. We are nothing without the next generation taking over and bringing some light where there's a lot of darkness. Santeni.
Thank you so much, Redemptor. Thank you for standing with us, and thank you for the commitment. This struggle for freedom, this struggle for human rights is intergenerational. We have to be cognizant of that fact, that what our parents fought, what our grandparents fought, all the way until Mau Mau, until the Wazungu. I mean, it's a struggle that is fought against these forces of evil that are always on closing on us people. Thank you so much. I have never really paid so much attention to addressing bigwigs, because Kenyans are very intelligent. Me, if there's a people group that I respect, Kenyans, kwanza watakuona wanyamaze tu. There I've seen a lot of bigwigs who are very relevant, and the next day deplatformed. Nobody engages them once they switch sides. Even right now, this slow fall of Boniface Mwangi, we are witnessing it live in action, because people see it. We know why we're on the streets. Even Andrew, by the Andrew Kibe last year, June, he was the biggest, all of us who have been spacing, he used to have the biggest spaces in Africa. And South Africa called him for awards, social media personality. And he came out very strongly supporting the government, still supports the government, very cynical in his attitude. Anasema wale watu kwa streets, kila mtu amelipwa, guns amelipwa, majenzi amelipwa. And Kenyans saw through his BS. And right now he can't even host a successful space. Right now he's just gone. So that's Kenyans for you. Kenya, like they judge you, they weigh you, they find you wanting. You have decided to sell your soul to the devil. Okay, but everyone who has been patriotic to the movement, everyone who has been patriotic calling for the condemning the killings, we know them. I know them. I resonate with them on spaces, and we know we shall overcome. We are keeping the faith. We're keeping the faith together. I want to give the microphone very quickly to Ice Queen. We're on extra time. I think I'll give 2 more people to speak and then we'll close the space. Guys, we have 3 days of injecting and then to the streets. Easter Scenes, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yo. Can I speak now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sorry, I've been in and out of space. I was on the road, but I've been listening and I just want to give my highlights. I know a lot has been said. Wow. First of all, my heart goes out to Darwin, that is Diangwi, and his family. I really feel for him. And I feel so sorry for anyone who thought that he was playing games on us. Definitely, we know the script. You don't expect a thief to say they were stealing. You didn't expect Amin to say that, yes, I have him, blah, blah, blah. So my heart goes out to him and his family. I hope he gets the therapy he requires, apone haraka. And I just hope the real Darwin that we had before the abduction can come back. And just to give you a sneak peek of what some of these people go through, especially from like what Bob Njagi was saying when they were on JKL. I've never been abducted myself, and I hope I don't. And I just was trying to imagine, first of all, as a man, I'm not saying it's easier when you're a woman, but you can imagine as a man being stripped naked. Number one, that's stripping of your dignity, shaving of your hair, handcuffing you to the floor. Just try and walk that journey with me mentally. Just imagine if it were you. Umewekwa hapo for days on end with minimal food for survival, minimal water, that kind of humiliation, you can't be the same. And some of these people, by the time they're being shaved, they're usually not even in their senses. Mtu amekuchapa, you've blacked out, you're waking up, you don't have hair. And I just don't know why they do this to people. They make you feel so small. They make you feel so useless. So you don't expect him to come out smiling and laughing. Of course, I'm intimidatiwa, come out with this script, say this or else. I also have information. Of course, I can't disclose my sources, that they also intimidated his mom, which is very wrong. As in, the state has a lot of, I don't know what to say, machinery to do a lot of damage to people. If this is the same government that had paid for a propaganda machine to distort information, you can just imagine that today what you saw on the timeline is just a very small piece of what they can do. Distorting information, kutugonganisha, and making us look really stupid. But I'm really liking the fact that this is now coming out to show like, okay, Darwin amedhulumiwa. I think this was a script. The government is trying to spin this. And I just hope that hatutapigana. Again, there's this thing that has been said about the big wig thing. I think one thing I would like to say, and I've just said this from another space, I'm from another space right now. Personally, mimi sijawahi kuwa mtu wa mob psychology, condom mentality. And I think one thing I would like to, I don't know whether to say to beg or to request trips is kuwa na akili yako, do research on your own, think through things. Usiogope kuwa peke yako mwenye anafikiria kitu. Don't just say things because people are saying it. Oh, people on the timeline are saying, Darwin, there's something fishy about this. So I also need to say this because if I don't say this, I'm going to look weird. I'm going to look different. And so what? You'll rather be wrong, going by something you're convicted with than the opposite. Like you just want to flow with a narrative because you don't want to look like you're the black sheep. Yeah, so just some of the highlights I would like to say is that tukienda maandamano kindly, tutokeange mapema. I think that's something that I've seen on the timeline. Hatuwezi kuwa tunatoka maandamano, unatoka saa 5. Sleep early, try get some rest, eat well, get your water, get your paraphernalia, get your running shoes, do whatever you need, get your crew together, ndio usipatikane kwa kona peke yako, be in groups of 5. But I think one of the biggest weaknesses I've seen in the movement ni kuamka kwenda maandamano saa 5. And that is one strategy that the cops were able to take advantage of, because they were able to lock guys on Thika Road, Kiambu Road, and Mombasa Road, because guys were going when it was a bit too late. So I think that's one of the things I would really like to ask the movement, the people who really want to go for maandamano, tokeni mapema. And then, yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say about mtu kwa independent thinking, about us being vigilant. If you can't protest on the ground, protest through the platforms that you have, and don't look like you're wishy-washy and like you don't understand what you're saying. Simama na msimamo moja. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. Give the microphone to Namara. Namara, can you hear us? Namara can't hear us. The unfortunate soul.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, so guys, thank you for giving me the mic. Yeah, so when the movement started last year, I wasn't so active. I guess I was some of those guys wenye walikuwa wameogopa, but venye imeendelea, you see our brothers are getting maimed, and then I stay in Kiambu Road, so kila siku I do pass where they shot down that brother hapo mbele ya Azuri. So like nikiangalia hapo makasiriko inakuja vibaya sana, yani it's like it hit home. Nilikuwa naona like bro kwenye ameangushwa hapa ndo anapita kila siku, ama bro waliangushwa hapa nini, yani we've never lived tukiwa na hii uoga, like literally we are kids struggling, and then usahii ukipita tu Subaru iko nyuma yako unashindwa, kwani hata WhatsApp status nilieka nini? Hatufai kuishi hivyo. I'm sure hata kama wazazi wetu walipigania freedom, I mean it wasn't this bad. You see, previous regimes kind of respected watoto. They were even giving them milk hata wakawa wanaua wazazi wao. But this one is maiming us and actually maiming our parents, and then there is this old school activists. It's like wanaona the limelight inatoka kwao, so they started discrediting the generational nini yenye na grow saa hii ikiendelea fighting for our rights. So as long as it's not them, I mean umse yako sawa tukimfightia akienda huko Tanzania akiharibiwa masimu tu, but when this brother of ours is being angushwa huko nini na au madisiae, I mean anaanza this emotional nini once, it's like he's the one to write the script for what happens now. So I guess we're just going to define our path. I mean we have numbers, say yani the old school activists or whatever wafanye kazi yao. I mean let them do the corporate activism which seems to benefit them. This year we are fighting for our life for generations to come. I mean you see we do have courage. Hata hiyo sabasaba tukienda, we know these animals wataangusha watu wengine, but hatuogopi. Tutaenda tu, when tutabaki tutarudi next time. Thank you guys for the mic.
Thank you, unfortunate. Ice Queen, are you there? I like your evolution from being passive and now being totally involved, because I mean I think most of us, that's how we have been. We are going about our business and then we realize, hii maovu will not change until all of us, get on the streets and demand for justice. This is not the Kenya we want. By the it was beyond. I remember last year just hearing like in Nairobian have been abducted. I'm like, no, this can't be Kenya. Kwani just the abduction wanakuja na kuweka nyuma ya Mariam without even considering getting a court order, and then you disappear. You're not even taken to the police station. This culture, this new culture of this regime is why we are against, and we are saying Ruto must go. I believe most of us, we have become very courageous and very bold in fighting for the freedoms that we believe we have. Ice Queen, are you there? Ice Queen, thought lines. Thought lines, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a while since I was on a space, but well, it's a good thing. So what I'd like to say is that I'm pleased that the past 1 month or so, we've been able to remind the powers that be that we are still around. We are still here as a movement, and we still mean business. What you can see happening right now is that it's quite apparent that the government has lost, or the regime, let's say the regime, not the government itself, because the government, if you look at it today, is no longer homogeneous. They're pulling in different directions. It's quite apparent. The regime has lost the information war completely. Whatever they say, they know people will not listen. So they're only left with brute force. They're communicating to us through brute force. They will abduct, they will kill, they will do all those things. That's why people like Eliud Lagat have to be preserved within government, because he was part of that plan. And it will be very difficult for them to be let go. And that's why you're also seeing a lot of reorganization of the security sector. So we must be prepared for a very brutal fight. All right. And when someone decides to use brute force, you outwit them by engaging your brains. We must take our brains to another level. And we must have absolute unity. All right. We must stay very united, and we must become very smart. We must outthink them. Because there's one thing that I can guarantee you these people do not have, and that is what we have. And those are good brains. We have superior brains to theirs. That's why we're able to push the agenda and take people away from them. They told us that, the people of Nyanza are in government, and they're actually very comfortable with what we are doing. They're very okay. We can just go to Homa Bay, pick Albert, promise his dad that he's going to come back with a corpse, and within 12, 15 hours, turn his son into a corpse, and the people of Nyanza will be quiet. And I guess they've gotten the information today. The first police station to be burnt is in Nyanza, it's in Homa Bay. And Murkomen's shoot to kill orders could not work. We have outwitted them. We have defeated them in the information war. What we say from our end is what people follow, not what they say. If Kaluma had an upper hand in the information war, we would not have seen those crowds in Homa Bay. But we are seeing those crowds in Homa Bay because what Kaluma says is just like farting. It's noise which no one, when you fart loudly, you just make noise. But nobody obeys the sound that comes from that farting. So that is what the government, that is what people or regime apologists are doing. They are farting and nobody's listening to them. But what we are saying is what people are following. So what I'd just like to say is, as we go on, I guess I get regularly sometimes when I online, people write things on X, and people also come here for space and the rest. There's this tendency also that I guess where we are fond of pulling people down. We're saying this is a big week, let's pull them down and all that. I'd like us to avoid that. I'd like us to desist from doing that. Everyone can make a mistake. Sometimes people misstep, but they have done a lot to sustain this movement. That if they did not do some of the things they did, we would not be where we are. And we really need to appreciate them, even as other people also arise. So I just like to say that let us stay united. Let us continue to lift those who are already up there, whether they're big wigs or whatever. We just keep on building. I don't just become a big wig by chance. You become a big wig by what you do, performance. Someone like Hanifa raised over 30 million to assist people. You must appreciate that. That's why people recognize her up to today. Other people out here have risked their lives. All right? People like KOT have organized spaces relentlessly. done so much. That's why people listen to them. That's why they're up there. So let's continue supporting them. Let's not be obsessed with negative competition. All right. These are very, very risky times, because what is happening in Kenya is we are getting into a paradigm shift. We are getting into a season where if we do things right and maintain, and if we do things right, we may end up changing. All right, we may end up changing the history of this country, kabisa, and change the system, kabisa, and rewrite everything. And it's not going to be easy. Very soon we'll be fought from two fronts: the regime and that other group that runs around, that group that has the Kina Gachagua and the Kina the rest. Don't think they like you. They thought you'd rally behind them, all right? Because they know you don't have money. They know what they've been doing in politics all these years. That when you get young people, Onesha to Chopper and the rest, they start following you. But what has come out with this movement is, for the first time, they're seeing a group of people who are not mesmerized by their money and what have you. People are comfortable. People will go out and say, yes, when it comes to changing the leadership, we'll go with Maraga, we will fund him. He will not give us money. So we must stay united. We must make sure that whatever we are doing continues to percolate to the ground. All right, you see what Akina Kioti Sonko do every weekend. They are going around the country. Let us support such initiatives. Let us see more people doing that in their own localities, so that we are able to change this country. We are able to take control. All right, the youth vote is massive, just as Kioti was saying yesterday. It is massive, it needs to be united. But even beyond that youth vote, there are so many other people who are not so young, but they support the change movement. Let us pull in our parents. Let us pull in our grandparents. Let us pull in everyone and change this country. All right? We must go beyond mandamanos. The mandamanos are not useless. They are useful. They send a very powerful statement to these people. But we must now get to a point where we are able to rally each and every person to a point where one day we can even say, now today it is labor boycott. Hakuna mtu anaenda kazi hadi mfanye 1, 2, 3, 4. No one will tear gas you for not going to work. All right? And when you paralyze the economy, every end of the country, they will listen. We will do all these things, Asanteni.
Thank you. Thought lines. Powerful points that you brought up there. Guys, crab mentality to achane nayo. This movement needs unity on all fronts. We don't have to, like some speakers have said earlier on, we don't need to have to agree on anything. But one thing we agree, the leadership is rotten at the head. Let us move forward together. Born I.
Yeah, thanks so much, Afro, KOT, and everyone else who are pushing the movement. And for sure, first of all, I'd like to thank each and everyone who has been in the forefront, those who have been there supporting the movement without even coming to the streets. You're sending a very good message. You're truly rallying behind this movement, and we know where we want to go. So for the last time when we were on the streets, then after that, they decided to bring a lot of mediocrity about tribal whatever, and trying to divide and rule so that they can rule us. But I'm glad that everyone stood on their ground. So first thing is, let's make sure everyone understand why they're in this movement, what they want, and what it is clear it is that when the movement started back in 2024 about the finance bill, after that, we were very clear that we want to drain the swamp. So we don't want some of us to get lost in the middle about these issues that are being raised by some particular people, that the Gen Z movement will support the likes of the DCP party and whatever. We don't want to be dragged into such politics again, because we will have lost what we wanted. Immediately you start supporting that bullshit of parties and what, you will realize after election, one particular party, let's say like DCP, will have a lot of elected members and maybe like 3, 4, 5 governors. And this particular party, the one who will be leading it, they will come to the table and demand they need a share, and they will they'll try to destabilize everything up there. There's no point that in that particular parliament you will have people who will be opposing. Let's say, for example, we settle for Maraga maybe be our president, and we vote for Maraga. There's no bill that will pass in parliament, because either they do like what this Kaongo did, going to buy people, and that's the order that we want to vote in a new order. And it is by not, let's not lie to ourselves that we have to do this in 2027. No, 2027 is too far. We have to push the movement each and every day. If we get a chance, who knew that what happened in Homa Bay could have happened? It got all of us were caught offside. We never knew about that. So we would like to find whereby we just wake up in the morning and we are on the streets, we are on them. They will not find this time to go and erect some fences around Parliament and around State House, while else they have been threatening us that these are protected areas. So it is very simple. You can see these people, we have pushed them to the limits whereby washaingiwa na hiyo uoga. And when these people wameingiwa na hiyo uoga, you can see just the other day Pasaris alikuwa anataka ana sponsor bill about where we should go and protest. And I like how people are thinking. Someone said 100 meters from parliament ni wapi? The Central Police Station. Ukiwa on the other side from parliament, unaenda huko kwa high court, huko kwa high court. So where will we protest from? And the answer is tutaenda kwa manyumba zao sasa, because if wakitukataza kuprotest in Nairobi, tunaenda kwa manyumba zao. So my point was about the protest. Kuna kitu moja ilitu waste last time sana, ni kwa sababu ya those people from Thika Road na Kiambu Road wenye walifungiwa, and some fellas from Kitengela. So guys, can we try to learn also from other people? Kama we saw Julius Malema, how he did it in SA the other time when they were saying total shutdown. These people hawakulala manyumbani mwao, they really didn't sleep kwa manyumba zao, and that's what helped them. So guys, my point is, kama ni wakati wa maandamano, wacha tutoke mapema. And I know everyone in this movement, just stay awake. Hakuna haja kufuata mtu because ni big wig. Everyone should follow his own instinct. Kila mtu anatokeanga mtaa kwa sababu anajua chenye kinamleta mtaani, au sio? So ni hiyo tu guys, stay in the movement. Lazima Kaongo tumtoe anytime. Thank you so much, Afro.
Thank you. Evelyn? Evelyn? Hi, Billy Mwangi, Mike is yours, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Afrocentric, for the platform that you have given us this wonderful evening, or should I say, early morning. So, mine will be quite, I won't say brief, because I will say lots of things that have not been said. First of all, it was quite good to see Darwin back. He's been my friend for a bit since I was released. He was one of those guys who came to my DM to tell me sorry and offered some help in terms of, you know, mentally or psychologically. Okay, secondly, he said that he was hiding himself mahali tu, and that is the same script that I was given by the abductors. I'll just share this with you guys. Don't just jaongea sana about this story because I'm also healing from what happened. So during the night of the release, the abductors normally take you and put you around in a meeting. Uko hapo katikati and the abductors are surrounding you. So there were like 5-6 abductors surrounding me and I was seated alone in the middle. So after that, they told me, hey, how are you? What do you do for a living? And do you know why you are here? And definitely you will not deny everything. But they know, and you know, definitely huwezi jidanganya. So after they ask you numerous questions, and wanakuonya na kuambia usirudie hiyo fala tena. If you repeat, we will come for you. Wanakuambia, so unaona tulikukujia hadi kwako. So if you repeat again, tunaweza kukujia tena. And tukikukujia tena, now it's death. So ukiambiwa kitu kaa hiyo, then you will definitely utaogopa tu kurudia the same thing. That's why Kavuli, Mweteti, myself and Kibet hatujarudia kuweka zile silhouettes and the AI generated pictures. So at the same time, the abductors will tell you that ukienda nyumbani, know that you are a celeb. Utaenda, you'll be interviewed. Utaenda, you'll meet with the leaders who will tell us what happened, tell us where you are. And the abductors will tell you, please, if you love your life, don't tell them anything. Watakudanganya wakuambie, tukikurelease, enda useme ulikuwa kwa manzi yako, umewekwa kwa nyumba yake, ukiogopa usichukuliwe na DCI ama NIS. That's how it goes. And that's why you've seen Darwin vile alitoka. What did he say? Alisema alikuwa anajificha kwa nyumba ya mtu, but it's okay, but it's a lie. It's a lie. See, I don't blame him. People are different. Kuna ule mtu unaweza mtisha na atishike, na kuna ule mwingine unaweza mtisha na akatae kutishika. So that's it. Maybe my friend Moteti can also tell you that. See Jabba stories. And another thing that made me furious, some of the Kenyans, mkiona abductees wamerudi, naanza kusema tumejiabduct. Kwani you guys want us to come back dead? Ama domoni ilikuwa genuine? It is quite bad. And the only way that abductees are not killed, it's because of the online push, the physical push as well. Musipo push, then they are killed. That's how it goes. So I pray that they'll stop doing this, but I know they'll continue because tuliacha wengi huko. So at the same time, I also pray that we make a correct decision towards choosing the next leader. Muliona interview ya Matiang'i juzi, umeona. What did he say? That hii Gen Z protest hainge happen on his watch. So you can definitely tell the kind of leader we want to select. I'm not judging anybody. We have Rigiji. We have so many people. So let's make our choices correct next general elections. Tusirudi tena tuanze kusema must go, must go, must go. Tusirudi spaces tuanze kusema ati maandamano, sijui 25th, sijui 77, mara 88, mara 99. Let's make a correct decision once and for all, tutoke hapo, watu waende waoe, wengine waolewe, and they live a happily ever after life, ile tu walikuwa wamefanya ama wamepangia. Because right now many youths hawajaoa, hawajaolewa, many youths hawana kazi, many youths are being killed. It affects youths more than even the old people. So I pray to God that the next government will hear us, the next government will change, and the next government will bring change towards the people, more so the youth. Now lastly, I urge every youth, please go for those seats. Endeni hizo seats. Usitishwe, usiogope. Don't fear going. Usiseme una pesa. Useme ati hiyo kiti ni kubwa sana, anza na MCA. Many people have told me nianze na MCA, but I have told them then, if Goliath was killed by David, it shows you that I also can go for a big seat and make it. So don't be discouraged. Una pesa, sijui una finances, sijui hiyo kiti ni ya wazee. Go for it, brav. You will take it home asubuhi na mapema, because trust me, 2027 mayouths ndo watachaguliwa. Don't ask me how, but mi najua youths wa Embu, they've believed in me that I'll lead them, and that's what I'll do. Come 2027, we'll be back in this space, and I know my label will have changed from Billy Mwangi to Senator Billy Mwangi, and I hope many others in this space will have their labels changed, and we can help each other and make Kenya the best place to be. Good night, guys.
Wow. Thank you so much, Billy Mwangi. Thank you for gracing the space, especially on a day like this. I saw Kivuli here also, but he has dropped off. Thank you, Peter Muteti. These are victims of abductions, and thank you for giving us an eye into what goes on. And also thank you for every speaker and everyone in the movement who has extended a lot of grace and allowing them to heal and not being too tough on them. And I believe that's why I believe we were going hard on people who we have trusted in this movement who are very quick to discredit victims without giving them that ample time. Someone who has disappeared for days, and when they come back, like you said, do you want them to be dead? I mean, my first tweet was, thank God Dagwin is alive. Like that is paramount. We know he's alive. Ingine ni others. Now we can now story, government twisting facts and lying. And as the speaker spoke earlier on, the government has lost the information war. With all the money they have, put 150 million. They have a group of dedicated, leave alone us, we blog in our free time, we we tweet in our free time, we space in our free time. But there are people who are paid 9 to 5, they wake up. One hour. What is happening on the timeline? Okay, this is the spin open on this story. Oh, we're going to target IO. Yes, we're targeting Redemptor. We're going to discredit their platform. We're going to fight them. These people are pushing manufactured propaganda. And guys, I have so much faith in Kenyans being the smart people they are. Right now, we are no longer reactionary. I mean, that's why they put out this information. They abduct us so we can react. We react. And like you said, there are so many other Kenyans, and that's what my heart pains, especially people who we do not know, small wigs who don't have a following. If they disappear, no one will know. And that's why I urge everyone, please engage, follow the speakers, follow each other. Let someone at least know you. Even how the DCP chairperson, the chair lady was abducted. She just tweeted quickly, guys, I've been abducted. Kabla wakunyang'anya simu, when they're still banging on the door. And we will catch it very quickly and we will push it. We'll put it on the internet and people will see it. And that way your life can be spared just by a simple tweet. So guys, check on each other. Most importantly, we'll be injecting for the next 3 days. Saba Saba is D-Day. I believe, I think I begin to understand how Bangladesh worked. Because if you have been following the movement since last year, June, you can literally point to the day when psychological walls fell in your mind, when you believed what is possible and what is not possible. It's been like a growth. Even when the speaker said, I never used to be part of the movement, now everyone has something that integrated them into the movement. An event, whether it was the death of Rex Masai, whether it was the death of Denzel Omondi, whether it was the death of Evans, whether it was the abduction of the Nairobian, whether it was the abduction of Billy Monk, there's something that happened that you said, no, enough is enough. I don't believe it was any one space. I don't believe it was a tweet by thought lines. I don't believe it was. Everyone knows what is taking them to the streets, and everyone knows why we are agitating for this and why we are pushing in this direction. So, guys, watch out for each other's space. Let us follow each other. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep the